In this problem, it tells us, given cotangent of x equals negative 1/3 and x is in quadrant 4, find sine of x. The first thing we should be thinking about is our identities and how these two are connected. Now, I did think about, could it be cotangent equals cosine over sine? But I'm not going to be using the quotient identity because there are two unknowns in the quotient identity. I don't have sine, I don't have cosine. I did think about using cotangent and a form of sine. What's a form of sine? Cosecant. So I can use the Pythagorean identity. Which Pythagorean identity has 1 plus cotangent? Equals what? Cosecant squared x. Class, do we have cosecant? No, but once I find it, I can take the reciprocal, and that'll help me find sine. I'm going to write cotangent as cotangent x squared and cosecant x squared. I'm going to do a substitution for cotangent. So now I have 1 plus negative 1/3 squared equals cosecant x squared. This means negative 1/3 times negative 1/3, which is a positive 1/9. And I don't want to put a 1 here because I want to eventually add them. So how do you make 1 a fraction? I need a common denominator of 9, so I'm going to have to multiply by 9 over 9. So that essentially means that that'll become 9 over 9. Nine plus 1 is, so 10 over 9 equals cosecant x squared. Class, how do I get rid of the power of 2? Remember, if you take the square root, our answer will be what? Plus minus the square root of 10. Square root of 9. How do I know if it's positive or negative? Which quadrant are we in? Tell me the acronym. So we're in quadrant 4. So what do you know about cosecant? Cosecant is negative. Remember, the C here stands for what? Cosine and secant are positive. Everything else is negative. Okay. Now I need to use the reciprocal identity. So over here we use the Pythagorean identity here in yellow. Now, some students get a little bit confused about which reciprocal identity do I pick? Well, I'm trying to find sine, so that's what I'm going to write. Sine of x equals, what's the reciprocal identity? 1 over cosecant. We're going to do a substitution. Sine of x equals 1 over negative radical 10 over 3. I'm going to write my fraction sideways. 1 divided by negative radical 10 over 3. What happens here, class? And here? One times negative 3 over radical 10. 1 times anything. This is self. To get rid of the radical 10, rationalize. Negative times a positive is negative 3 radical 10 over radical 100, which is 10. So in this problem, they're giving us cotangent. We're in quadrant 4. We need to find sine. We use the Pythagorean identity to link the two between cotangent and sine by finding cosecant. Cosecant is negative in quadrant 4. I took the reciprocal identity to find sine. Sine should also be negative in quadrant 4.